Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My name's Lisa and I'm here to help you unlock the secrets to a happier, more confident and more fulfilling life. In the first 99 episodes, we explored not just practical tools that can elevate your mindset and your life, but also delved into the spiritual aspects like the power of crystals, universal laws and energy healing. Whether you're new or returning, let's continue this inspiring journey of growth and self-discovery together. Welcome back to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. Now, as I have been doing in the last few weeks, just taking a look and seeing where people are joining me from. So I just want to say hi to people in Paris. I'm so glad that you've decided to join me. I hope you're here again this week and I hope you're enjoying it. As always, please don't forget to share the episodes that you're enjoying and just help us to reach more people who might enjoy this. Now, the things that have been happening over the last few weeks are starting to make sense. Now, if you've listened, you will recall that I had a week where there was lots of things going on, like lots of things I just had to remain calm, just trust that things were happening for me. And I know a lot of other people have had weeks like that as well. There's definitely something in the air. So I had lots of people contacting me saying that they had lots of, what's the word I'm looking for? Lots of drama, I guess, like lots of drama that they didn't invite. And I know that the people that have contacted me are pleased to hear that it's not just them. I am pleased to hear that it's not just me. So this is the beauty of me sharing what's happening in my life and you then contacting me and telling me what's going on in your life because, you know, I can share to everybody, people who listen, that it's not just you. There is something going on. There is an energy going on at the moment. Last week, I had a migraine. And I haven't had a migraine for years. I can't remember the last time I had a migraine. I used to get them quite a lot before I had children, and then they seemed to really die down after that. Obviously, I've had the odd one here and there, but last week I had a really horrible migraine that lasted almost 3 days. And again, that's another thing that people have contacted me and said that they've also had migraines as well. People have been feeling overwhelmed with like all the drama that's going on. People have been feeling absolutely exhausted. So this has led me to looking further. Now, obviously last week I said that the Spring Equinox is here. This week, that was yesterday. But the spring equinox this year has been accompanied on the exact same day with the sun entering Aries. Now, Aries is known for fire, intensity, acceleration. So this is the energy that we're experiencing at the moment. So this totally makes sense, yeah? All this drama, all these things that seem to be out of balance in our lives. It's all starting to make sense. Things that are out of balance in our lives. Like I'm not an expert in astronomy, whatever the bloody word is. So I've had to look into this and what it all means. But basically the things that are out of balance, the things that are out of alignment in our lives right now have to rise to the surface. So all these crazy things that have been happening, they are testing you. They're rising to the surface. They are showing you what you need to shake off, get rid of, what you need to look at. Now, when this amount of energy happens, when there is this amount of energy going on, you find one of two things. People either carry on as normal, wondering why all this shit is happening to them. And this is most people. Most people say, oh my God, I've had the worst week. This is what's happened to me. Why does this always happen to me? And then they just carry on with their lives. So obviously those things, that is a pattern. And so you either have that pattern, or then you have people that want to break the pattern. Okay, so the minority of people will start to realize that there is a change happening. Something in this energy is either showing them something, or there's a change happening. And that will often send people on a spiritual awakening, an awakening within themselves. So this happened for me about 5 years ago, when something, I'm not going to say the word, but when something shook this planet and started to divide people. This sent me on the beginning of a journey. And this is a journey that I would say I'm still going on now. So what does a spiritual awakening look like? What is a spiritual awakening? A spiritual awakening is a transition. It's a time of transformation when you start to realize that there is more meaning, there is more purpose out there, more purpose to life than you previously thought. It's time when you want to find out who you truly are, deep within, more than what is on the surface. So usually a spiritual awakening usually starts with something happening, like something happening in your life that shakes everything up for you. It starts making you question why something has happened in your life. So for me, this happened, like I said, it started off 5 years ago, and there was a series of events. So the first one is obvious. The first one got me questioning the world. It got me questioning people around me. The second part, which came about 6 months later, was something that happened within a friendship of mine that made me question, what am I doing to attract this kind of energy? And that was like the second catalyst for me, which I think is a really key part of a spiritual awakening. That is the part when you go from thinking, why is this happening to me, to what am I doing to attract this? Does that make sense? You are questioning your involvement in it. Things aren't just happening to you. They're not just happening to make your life shit. There is some involvement, whether you know it or not, some kind of energy that you're putting out there, or something that is missing in your life that is being sucked in to replace that or to fill that part in. And when this happens, you usually start to look within yourself. Now, looking within yourself often leads to the desire to look more into self-development, like look how you can make changes, make improvements on that aspect of your life, have more understanding on why you are the way you are. The things that happen during a spiritual awakening are really similar to things that happen during what we are often led to believe is a midlife crisis, the changes that happen during menopause. So these times often cross over. You start to question when you're going through menopause or going through changes in your life, you start to question things. And of course, these things do happen. People do have midlife crisis. People do have mental breakdowns. People do suffer with hormonal changes. But that you can use that to help you get a different view of life, of purpose. Going on a spiritual journey, on a journey of awakening, leads you to a path of like trying to be on a higher state of consciousness. So that is like, when I talk about higher frequency, on a higher vibration, the higher state of consciousness is when you are more aware, you are more self-aware, you are more aware of things that might be happening around you, rather than being within, rather than being negative all the time, rather than seeing things as happening to you all the time. Having a higher state of consciousness often means stepping away from the ego. And when I say ego, I don't mean in an what we see as an egotistical way. I mean the self, stepping away from what you outwardly put out there to the world. It's more about having a deeper sense of self, a deeper inner knowledge of why you are the way you are. Having a higher state of consciousness often leads us towards a connection to something higher, something larger than just us, than oneself. So whether that is in the form of God or religion, whether that is in terms of, believing that there is a more universal power, whether that you see that as like a higher power, like whatever you see as a higher power, and you are starting to connect with that more. So is that you? Have the events that have been happening around you or in your life, have they started to make you want to look further into why that's happening? Not just complaining, not just allowing that to happen, but wanting to look at what you can do and where you have power. If that is you, if you feel the urge to look more within yourself, I am here for you, because it can be a scary, lonely time. You make realizations that don't fit with your previous life, the life that you had before you started to be more aware. This is what this is what I'm all about, is supporting people through that journey, because I'm still on that journey myself. I don't know if this ever stops. I don't know when this journey stops. This started for me 5 years ago, and I am still going deeper and deeper and deeper into this journey. So if you're still questioning if this is you or not, if you are still questioning, am I on a spiritual awakening? Is this starting to happen for me? Here are some signs that it might be happening. You might be starting to experience some vivid dreams or visualizations, which is often a sign of your third eye opening and your intuition. You might be starting to notice synchronicities. Things are happening like that are more than a coincidence. You're starting to realize that there are no coincidences. And the funny thing is, those synchronicities have always been there. Like now, looking back, I can think of numerous synchronicities that have happened to me in the past that I just thought, bloody hell, that's what an amazing coincidence. But that is all things happening in your favour for one reason or another, whether you perceive that as good or bad. Another sign is that you might be starting to question friendships, relationships, the people around you. When you start to look more into yourself, within yourself, what your purpose is, what you think the meaning of life is, you often start to realize that there are people in your life that no longer align with who you are, what you are, because you've changed, and that's okay. So those people, you either start to feel maybe resentment towards those people because they don't think the same as you anymore. That's not their fault. It's not your fault either. It's part of the process. People will fall out of your life because they aren't aligned with your energy, with your beliefs, with your values anymore. So you might be noticing that starting to happen. You might feel more of a connection with other people. So whilst there are people that aren't aligned with you anymore, you might start to feel more connection with other people that you haven't necessarily felt that with before. You might start to pick up on people's energy, people's emotions more, like feeling that oneness. Like that sounds a bit of a, woo thing to say, the oneness, but it's true. We're all energy, we're all connected, and you do start to notice that connection with people more. So maybe you're starting to notice that you might have more of a connection to nature. You might have the need to go out on more walks and take in the fresh air and feel the energy of the ocean or of the wind. You might feel more of a connection to the energy of the sun, the moon, things that you haven't noticed before, and feel a pull to be with that more. You might find yourself being drawn to finding out about spiritual practices. So meditating, looking into things like the law of attraction and other universal laws, which, I am guessing that because you are here, because a lot of this is the kind of thing that I talk about, I'm guessing you are already here, or you are beginning to open up to that and be more intrigued by that. And I'm so glad you are here for that. It's something I am deeply passionate about, and I'm always, looking more into that myself and sharing what I find out with you. That's what this podcast is all about. But it's also part of, my journey as well, my spiritual journey, my awakening. So I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm so glad we're on this journey together. And thank you for being here. So if you realize some of these signs, if all of this has started happening in your life, then stay with me. Share with me. Come and join me over on my social media if you haven't already. So in my Facebook group, everything is Loving Life. Facebook group, Instagram, Facebook page, what else? It's all called Loving Life, because if we're not loving life, then what is the point? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if this is any good. I don't know where this is going, but here we are. So if you are noticing this energy at the moment, we spoke about what to do with that energy last week. So if you haven't already, then head over to my website where you can take a look at the workshop about, making the most of the spring energy, or making the most of the energy of the seasons, and planning your next 12 months around that, because now is such a good time to do that. This energy that is realigning us, that is balancing out, shaking all the things off, bringing everything to the surface that needs to go. This is the next step, is then planning on what you do with that going forward. Make sense? Don't waste it, basically. Don't waste this powerful energy that is happening at the moment. Okay. If you've got any questions, please do drop them below, or, you can email me as always, lisa@lisadavidge.co.uk. DM me on any of my socials, whatever. I love hearing from you. So yeah, not really sure how to end this today, but thanks for joining me. Make sure you subscribe, share. Thank you so much, and sending you so much love, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye.